Well, here is the glowforge. It's arrived. It's sitting on its table where it'll end up going. You can see that it's sitting in front of a window so it can be ventilated, and all the ventilation is ready to go. So I'm going to start the unboxing and restart in a minute. I should point out that I also got the accessory kit, which just magically appeared on top of the glowforge. That's the brown cardboard box that comes with all kinds of complementary materials to get you started on your first cutting. I'm going to remove it, and I'm watching the step-by-step instructions on the glowforge site in terms of how to unbox. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove those black straps in the corner cardboard bracing. After that, the handle holds that you see, the two in the front, they pop out and then the box can be lifted off. So you can see I unpopped the handle holds, and now at this point they should just pull out and the box should lift off. There's two on the other side as well. You can also see the ventilation tubing on the windowsill. That was hidden behind the box, but I just put it up there to get it out of the way. There's actually two pieces there. The white half is the half that goes with window air conditioning units, the portable units. The side on the left, the black half, is attached with a 3D printed adapter for the glowforge that I found on Amazon. So all four of the handholds are now off the box. I took them out of the holes. You can see them laying on top. I'm going to move them out of the way and take the top off the box. So no surprise, there's a piece of cardboard on top of the box after you take the top off. I'm just going to take that off while you're watching. And there's the glowforge with a lot of styrofoam. I should also add that the website's pretty clear about which pieces you should hold on to if you ever need to send this back. When you go to the website and you log in, before you can really get going, it basically gives you three options. One is I want to buy a glowforge. One is I already bought it but I haven't received it yet. And the other one is hey, I received it, at which point you'll be directed to unboxing instructions. The next step is to remove the protective foam, which I will do right now. I'm a little concerned because, as you can see, this thing is pretty big and it's also pretty heavy. So I might need to get some help to take it out of the box. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to take the foam out now and keep it running. Keep the video running. Wow, this thing's much bigger than I thought it would be. So you may be able to see it now inside the plastic bag. You may not be able to tell, but I just spun the glowforge around so the front of the unit is facing us. It'll just make it a little bit easier to take out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some help, and we're going to take the box and put it on the floor and lift the glowforge out and put it up on the table. But I'm going to get some help with that, and we're going to do that with the camera off since I don't know how it's going to go. One sec. Okay, the glowforge is out of the box, and it is on the table, and it is out of the big plastic bag that it was in. So what we did is we took that box and we put it on the floor, and we opened the bag and just reached in and picked it up on either side and put it up on the table. It was easy peasy, not a problem, but certainly recommend it's a two-person job. Okay, I just rechecked the glowforge website to see what to do next. The next step is to remove that orange tape you see in the front, lift the lid, and there will be a big piece of foam underneath, which I will remove. So I'll do that real quick. This thing's beautiful, if you can't tell. Between the steel and the acrylic, it really looks nice.
You know, I can...
That was my helper who is talking when I am doing the unboxing. So this must pop down, and it does. I'm taking the foam out, along with the material to keep it dry. So now you can see inside the glowforge, you can see the big piece of work area where you place the material. And I am removing the knobs on either side. Basically, all of the orange material that we see is used for packing, and we will remove it. But I am going to read a little bit on the website, remember what it said to do, and then I'm going to pause the video and go check out the website and see what to do next. So those are the two knobs, and I will take them out and put them off to the side. Okay, in the very back there's another piece of foam, and it's got the printer head and lens tool within it. So the next step is to take it out. So we will do that next. So taking out the foam, and you just take off the top layer. There it goes. And there is the printer head and the lens tool as advertised. So we will take it out. And we have exposed circuit boards. And I really hope this attaches to something. And I'm being careful not to touch the lenses, which are on there. And a lens wipe. How about that? Just in case I did touch it, which I did not. Aha. Splits to come out. They thought of everything. Okay, the next step, and you can see how big the work surface is on here now underneath. The next step is to remove this orange piece of tape. I read ahead, furthest away from you, and you pull it towards you. Then you carefully take it off of this ribbon cable. And it said, don't worry, you do not need to keep this piece of orange tape in case you ever need to send it back for maintenance or whatnot. So we'll just put it to the side. I thought that box that I showed you earlier was for the sample material, but now I actually think it's for the accessory kit, which we will open in a second. But before then, there's a couple more things to remove. The first one is this orange clip. So that's removed. Then it says to carefully slide this back. And there are these two red pieces that sit on the rail that keeps the whole head from moving during shipping. So those are removed now too. The next step is to open up that cardboard box and take the breadcrumb tray out. So I'm going to pause the video while I unbox that, and I'll show that being inserted. It looks like the box I mentioned earlier contains the accessory kit and the sample pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is in the box, which is below on the floor here, is what they call the crumb tray. And that goes in as so, with the handle in front. So good, that worked. The accessory kit also comes with exhaust tubing. This is the smaller which I am not going to need because I already bought my tube and this smaller tubing would not fit to my exhaust panel. So this will be a nice thing to sit to the side. Sure, I'll use it eventually somewhere, somehow. It also does have some clamps in here too, just to clamp the tube. So I never have closed the lid, which is good because I would have just had to keep reopening it with each step. I'm moving the accessory parts. But the next step is to place the head. And it tells you to be very careful not to touch anything but the black metal, which I may have touched this lens, but there's some cleaner. I assume that's what it's there for. And there's a place on the head where the ribbon goes. That's what I'm looking for now. Aha! The ribbon cable goes into this slot right here. So that's the ribbon cable we saw before. The first thing it says to do is to remove the orange foam, which we have done, and to connect. It says to push this all the way back, to slide this all the way to the far right, and to connect the print head ribbon. So the ribbon has a raised notch in it, as does the circuit board where you plug it in. So you match those up. I'm making sure that this ribbon is in the channel first. And I have inserted the ribbon cable into the connector. Next, when you place it down, this is magnetic, and when you place it down, it should just grab. That's what it says. Which it appears to have done. So yay. Then it says just make sure that you can move the tray back and forth and that nothing binds or grabs, and that all looks like it's just fine and not a problem at all. So good, we're getting very close. By the way, this is a glowforge Plus, it's not the Pro. If this was the Pro, there would have been some extra steps for us to follow, and that has to do with the slots that are in the front and the back. We don't have that on the Plus, so we don't have to do those steps. Also, I have not plugged in the power cord at all, and it warns you to make sure that's the case when you're doing this installation. I just noticed you can see on the glass lid the camera. That's the camera on the glass lid that's used to detect material by reading barcodes and just seeing where things are. So this is the camera right here. And you can see all of the LED lights on either side of the edge of the glass top that will light up the material as you're getting ready to start. So I closed the glowforge. The crumb tray that was in the bottom wasn't seated quite right. It had to be pushed back a little bit more, and you can tell when it's properly placed because it kind of clips into place. The box with the accessories, including that crumb tray and tube, also includes this panel. This is the sample material. So it's got leather, hardwood. I'm think there's acrylic in here, but you can see that there's a pretty good set of starting material. And it also includes the power cord. Now at this point, I am going to turn the camera off and connect it to the power cord, and I'm also going to connect the exhaust tubing that is sitting up on the windowsill right now. Okay, so you can see my exhaust tubing is connected. I am also connected to a power cord. So I am going to turn the unit on for the first time and we'll see what happens. So, a moment. So we have activity. I see material inside the laser tube. Appears to be liquid. The LED lights on the case are on. The green start button just lit up. So it looks like we are ready to go to the next step. So I am going to pause for a second and go see what that next step is. It's very exciting watching something going on with the laser tube. And the laser tube is pretty impressive looking. It's got the coiled glass in the end of it. It looks like something from a Boris Karloff movie. More significant than I was expecting. You can hear the fan on the glowforge running. It's not as loud as I thought it'd be, but you can definitely hear it. You can also see that I'm vented, as I mentioned before. When I stepped away, what I was doing is I went back to the computer, and like a lot of different network devices, the glowforge was sending out its own Wi-Fi network for my computer to connect to. I did that. I put my Mac in the other room on the glowforge's network, where I was able to tell the glowforge to use my home Wi-Fi connection. It did that. I gave the glowforge a name, and you had the ability to add other full-time users by email address. I did that. And right now it appears to be going through some type of self-check because I see the head moving. The teal button that you use to start printing is no longer lit, so I assume it's going through diagnostics right now. I do not see the liquid moving in the laser tube anymore, and at this point I'm going to call this unit unboxed, and I am going to stop this video, and when it's time to make my first cut I will start a new video and give it an appropriate title. So thanks for joining this unboxing of my Glowforge Plus. This is Kevin at WidgetWood.com, maker of lamps from different types of whiskey bottles. You can find them at widgetwood.etsy.com. And eventually I may start creating some WidgetWood paraphernalia with this and throw them in with the lamps. So we'll see how that goes. Right now we'll just let this thing go through its paces and set itself up. So thanks for watching, appreciate it, and we'll have more videos later.